Kevin Grant!
Best teacher ever! This is the brew that won me the silver medal in that video you saw, and you'd think I'd be happy about that, you'd think. But there's some shady dealings going on down south in their beer competition, so let me give you the setup. So the setup is, my family and I are going to go down south for Chuseok to this island county, which will remain nameless so I don't get sued. But we were going to go there anyway, and my wife's looking stuff up, and it turns out they have a beer competition there. And I'm thinking, hey, great, that's great, we're going there anyway, it's total coincidence. My wife sends me the picture of the event and the rules and stuff, and it says beers must be submitted in person. So we're both going, that's bizarre. I've never seen that before in my life, but hey, we're going down there anyway, so hey, why not? So we get in contact with them, and I made this, which is a hazy Simcoe Cryo dry hopped hazy, and we bring that, and yeah, we drive down there because we're camping down there anyway. And we submit it the next day at 10 a.m. at the festival that's happening. And yeah, let's get to the competition and part of it. I get there and I submit it, and I notice, we knew that it was a small contest. We knew there weren't that many contestants. But all 5 of the other bottles that are in line to be tested are the exact same bottle. Exact same plastic bottle, same size, and then there's mine. So we get a phone call from the people who run the county festival, not the beer competition, and they're saying, we can't tell you who won, but you should definitely come to the results at the end. You know, kind of like a wink wink. So we're like, okay. So we get there, and we go behind the stage, and it's just me and my family. And, you know, I'm waiting, and we're waiting to get word of something, and 2 guys come. And one of them's foreign, and one of them's Korean. And again, we're behind the stage. Now it's noisy because the stage is, you know, packed full of dancing and stuff, and there's people on the other side. They're all watching, but behind the stage is literally just the 5 of us now. Me and my family and these 2 guys. I'm downtown Cheonan, maybe you can tell. And I'm talking to them, and I'm like, hey, you guys here for the beer competition? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, oh, sick, I get to meet some fellow homebrewers, right? So I asked them, what beers did you guys make? And they both look at each other and they're like, we didn't make any beers. I was like, I laughed because that's ridiculous, right? Not unbelievable, but it's absurd. And so we all have a laugh. And they're like, oh, the woman who runs the contest asked us to be here. And I thought, it's a small contest. It's their first year. There's nobody here, right? So when we're on stage, they want some people to fill out, right? To just fill out the volume of the stage, right? Ha ha ha. That's reasonable, so that it's not just me up there winning something. And so we all have a good laugh. And the one guy, the American guy, told me, oh, I made an IPA. And the Korean guy says, I made a porter. And I thought, that's funny. So they call us up on stage, and this is where things start to go a bit south. We all get up on stage, and you know, there's a host, and so, you know, 3rd place IPA, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I won 3rd place. American guy's name, which, okay, whatever. It's not first, so whatever. And so then 2nd IPA. Hold on. I made an IPA too. Silver, Kevin Grab. Thinking, okay, all right, whatever. 1st place, Porter. And they're using these people's names that I was just introduced myself to 6-7 minutes prior, right? Korean guy goes, woo! 300,000 won Shinsuke gift certificate for him, 150 for me, 100 for the American guy. And I'm thinking, now, I should make it perfectly clear that I'm perfectly capable of losing a beer competition. Most beer competitions I enter, I lose, and that's fine. If I get deemed unworthy of getting an award, then that's how that works. But I'm gonna be damned if this guy next to me is gonna get $300 when he told me 10 minutes ago that he didn't make any beer for this competition. So I'm looking at my wife who's recording, which is what you saw earlier, and I'm like, and she's like, she has no idea what's going on, right? So we get down, and I told her what happened, and they want us to sign forms to release the prizes, right? And I'm going, what the hell is going on? And I'm getting all pissed, and I told too, and the other guy, I'm like, I'm sorry you guys are getting roped into this, but like, why the hell am I getting 150 and he's getting 300 when he didn't make anything? He just told me he didn't make any beer for this. So the woman, this isn't the woman who organized the contest yet. This is a woman who works for the county, who's overseeing festival stuff rather than the competition itself. So she takes this Korean guy aside for 20 seconds without any of us. He comes back. Oh yeah, I did make that beer. And I'm looking at him like he has two heads. I'm like, you made a beer? And he goes, yeah, I forgot. It was a group project that they made at the Gongbang, which is like a place where you can rent beer equipment and make it there and ferment it there in case you don't have your own equipment. And what do I do now? I'm just supposed to go like, obviously this is not true. You're full of shit. Like, obviously this is a lie. I can't say that. And I said, promise me you made a beer. And he goes, yes. Quick editor's note about submitting beers under a team designation for beer competitions. This is not unheard of. It's not uncommon. Now, what you would do is that you would submit the beer under a team name, like, the Cool Guys or the Bastard Brewers or something. You would name your team something and submit it as that for your name. Because then when the award shows up, it would be under that name. It wouldn't be under one person's name in the group, which wouldn't necessarily be fair. You could do that if you want, but it's completely standard operating procedure to submit beers made by a team or a group under a name that they've created. It certainly isn't common to have someone work in a group for a competition, submit it under their own name, and then forget that they made that beer. That's less common. And so what can I do now, right? So, it gets even better. The woman who ran the competition, she owns the study room. It's hard to translate it in English. It's a place where you can go and make beer with their equipment and ferment it there and bottle it there, but you don't own your own equipment. The word is gongbang. I'm going to use that from now. The woman who owns the gongbang is the the contest organizer. And the other 5 bottles were the exact same for the competition beers, right? And you had to bring them in person, right? You couldn't mail them in. And this is like a county with like 40,000 people in it, right? Now, the festival itself was busy, but this is not like, it's not like they're having a competition at COEX and you need to bring it there. So then everyone in Seoul at some point over the month can bring it in. This is a very, very, very out of the way place for most Koreans. So, yeah. And so I'm under the impression that Shinsegae gave the festival 5 million won in gift certificates and said, here, give these out in certain portions to people who do the dance, singing, and beer competitions. Speaking of the dancing and singing competitions that happened as well as the beer competition, I did notice that on the festival's Instagram, as soon as the dancing stuff was done, an hour later, it was on their Instagram page. And as soon as the singing stuff was done, it was up on Instagram as videos an hour afterwards. They were very quick. They haven't uploaded the footage that you saw at the very beginning of this, where we were on stage yet. It's been weeks, and they haven't uploaded any of that yet. So they know. They're aware that they've fucked up and that they probably shouldn't put 2 people that didn't make any beer at all on their Instagram videos on the festival Instagram page. So there's another telltale sign that something's amiss here. She got wind of this, decided to organize an event, and then decided all the beers are going to be the ones that I made. I can submit them under my friends' names and they can get some free money. And no one will be the wiser. What they didn't expect was me showing up from Gyeongsangnam-do in person, and then I probably threw a wrench in the gears, right? And it's like, who's this guy? We got to give him something. Why? Now here's the things. There are caveats, right? There are things that I need to say in defense of the system. What I'm not saying is that my beer was the best. Obviously, there was a beer that there was judges for, and I met some of the judges, and I've met them before. They're not in on this. So my beer, I think, got second out of all the quality of the beers there. And I can accept that, and that's fine. It just really rubs my balls the wrong way that some guy's getting $300 who just told me that he didn't make any beers. I'm almost certain this was the organizer of the competition's own beer that they entered. And then they were under the assumption that him and her friends and his friends, their friends, would start taking home some sweet, sweet Shinsegae money. And I think I put a wrench in the gears there. But it's absurd. It's just... You know, all they had to do was say some random name that wasn't there, and I wouldn't have questioned that. If they just said like Jeff Billiamson for his sour won first, I would have gone, okay, like, okay, that's fine. I don't know who that is, but he got the best beer, so okay. But no, they had to make it the guy that I'd met 10 minutes prior that had just told me that he doesn't even know how to make beer. It wasn't even like he didn't make any. He doesn't even know how. So they didn't account for me coming from out of town, and then they certainly didn't account for me talking to the other people. Anyone who knows me knows I love to say, hey, what's going on? I'm Kevin. What's going on? How are you, right? They didn't account for me talking to the people who were lying about making beer. Yeah, honestly, if they'd given them second and third place and I got first, probably would have kept my mouth shut. I'm not a great person. I'm not saying I'm a virtuous person who needs truth 100% of the time. But if I'd won first place, I think I would have bit my tongue and just taken the $300. But watching someone else who didn't make a beer get twice the amount of prize that I did really bit me in the ass. That's not the correct term. Anyway. Let's go to church.